So in this session, you will learn three critical things that you need to scale results in your life. And as I was saying earlier, if there is one thing that you as an individual, you as a professional, you as an entrepreneur, you must be concerned about, you must be critical about, you must be intentional about is how do you scale results in your life? What are the things that you can do on a consistent basis that can take you to that place where you can engineer the results that you desire to see? Right? Because if there is one thing that you need to understand is growth is your responsibility. Your ability to scale results is your job to build that ability. And until we come to this place, we come to this understanding, it will always be difficult to experience that. And there are certain things that when we as a people, if we can understand these things and put them to action, we will be able to engineer and produce the results that can lead to that sustainable success and, of course, success that is full of stability. So I want to share with us three things that, as I begin to talk about these core elements that you need to scale growth in your life, begin to ask yourself, where am I falling short in these things? Or where am I doing so good in these things unconsciously? And how can I maintain the consistency in doing these things the right way? The first concept I want to talk about is the concept of finding and cultivating the ritual that will catapult your growth. Finding and building, finding and cultivating that ritual that can catapult you, can catapult your growth, your career, your business, your finances to a whole new level. You know, one of the key things, one of the key factors in achieving career growth, achieving business growth, achieving financial growth, even achieving relationship growth is the foundation of personal growth. Like I always like to say, you know, if I say that Clotilde is a marketer, the person of Clotilde comes before marketer comes. If I say she is a nurse like Durant, I say she is an accountant or she is a lecturer. You will notice that the person, the she or the he, comes before the occupation. The he, the she comes before the career position. So this is why no matter how the society evolves, no matter how things continue to change with the advent of technology, personal growth will always have that core foundation as far as building success is concerned, even as far as living a happy and a fulfilled life is concerned. Now, in this core critical element of scaling results in your life, finding and cultivating the ritual that can catapult your growth, that can enhance your growth is important. So spending time to identify and nurture that ritual that resonate with your goals. When I talk about your goals, I'm talking about your career goals, your business goals, your financial goals, your purpose goals, your happiness goals, or whatever goals that make sense to you. One of the key factors is spending time to identify and nurture a ritual or a set of rituals that will resonate with those goals. What is a ritual? A ritual is a consistent set of actions, a consistent set of actions that you have made up your mind that you are sick and you are dying, and except a situation is beyond your control, you will always carry out that ritual on a daily basis. You will always carry out those set of actions on a daily basis. And not just any type of actions, but a set of actions that have the capacity to act as a catalyst for your development. A set of actions that will act as a catalyst for your development. Right? Now, let me give you an example of rituals. I have a couple of rituals that I have cultivated over the years. I have replaced some, I have modified some, I have improved on some. But the foundation is that one of the core things about me is there are a set of rituals that I have cultivated over time, and I hold myself to a very high level standard to practice those rituals on a daily basis. Let me give an example. One of the rituals that I started long ago, like maybe 9-10 years ago, which I still do today, is writing at least 300 words of any relevant article every single day. And the purpose of that ritual was not for me to publish blogs or publish on social media. No, it was when I discovered that the more I write, the more I improve my mental intelligence. So I said, if this particular action can become a catalyst for my mental intelligence, then I need to practice that particular action on a daily basis. Then another ritual, which is a default, is the ritual of reading. Another ritual which I read about and it was important was rising very early in the morning when your brain is thinking at the highest capacity. So I combined all of this, and that was how I created my morning ritual. Since 2011 to date, I can count the number of mornings that 4 a.m., 3:30 a.m. met me in bed. It is totally impossible, except I'm sick or except I traveled and I came back very late and tired, except certain kind of bed. On a normal circumstances, on a normal situation, sometimes in a month, sometimes 2 months, sometimes 3 months, there is no iota of, there's no morning that I wake up after 3:30 a.m. or 4 a.m., let me say so. Because I know that the morning ritual is very important, because there are a set of actions in that morning ritual that act as a catalyst for my personal development, for my professional development, for my industry dominion, for whatever thing that I do publicly. You know, many a times people get to just see, I do a lot of these online sessions, and media interviews and TV stuffs and all of these things every single day. Always dishing out something. Either I'm coaching somebody, I'm consulting somewhere, or I'm training somewhere, or I'm speaking somewhere. Large companies, small companies, individuals, every single day, it is the same process. But if this public show, because what you're seeing now is the public show, and it's the most easiest thing to do. It's the most easiest thing to do. Because many a times, to come and speak for 40 minutes, sometimes you may need to study for 6 hours and do proper research, proper structuring, proper analysis. Imagine your presentation, conceptualize, conceive, and all of these things before they can work out. Right? So you need to do that. Now, what is the recommended framework that I will recommend you to go through to develop your own ritual? Number one, identification. Take time and identify your lifelong goals. Take time and clearly identify your ambitious goals. And when you do that, identify the set of actions that when you align with these goals and perform them regularly, they will help you to advance your career. So under this framework, under the key point of identification, you are identifying two important things. What are your career goals? What are your business goals? What are your professional goals? What are your industry goals? What are your financial goals? Whatever goals that make sense to you, spend some time, identify them. When you do that, the next thing you need to do is identify. Remember we said a ritual is a set of actions that can act as a direct catalyst to your development. So when you identify the goals, you now identify the set of actions that you will do them on a daily basis that will act as a catalyst to enhance the achievement of your goal. So under that framework of developing your ritual, spend some time on identification. Number two, spend some time on implementation. When you identify the goals and the actions, you need to get into the phase of implementation. And what I will recommend under implementation is start small and gradually make these actions a part of your daily routine. Let's say, for example, you have noticed that based on the career path that you have chosen, you need to command a certain level of expertise and industry knowledge and be recognized as a thought leader before you can achieve the kind of career you desire to see and before you can get paid the kind of amount you desire to get paid. But for you to become that thought leader, you have identified that one of the set of actions you need to do is that you need to get some core industry books in your industry and start reading them on a daily basis. But unlike maybe me who have that habit, that culture that I can sit and read for 4 hours now because I've been doing this ritual for more than 10 years. It's normal for me, but you don't have that patience yet. You don't have that mindset. You don't have that attitude. You don't have that composure to sit in one place for more than 4 hours to just read. But you can decide and break that important action into small actions or small tasks. So you start training yourself into that particular process. But the foundation under this framework is after identification, you need to get into implementation. You need to get into implementation. Because without implementation, you don't have a ritual. You just have an imagination of the things you would have loved to do, but you are not doing them. Right? Good. Are you learning something? Are you being challenged to do better? Are you being challenged to do better? All right. The third important concept I will share is the third important concept under this framework. We're still on point one, that you need to identify and practice a set of rituals that can catalyze your development. And I've been sharing with you the framework on that ritual stuff. And I spoke about the first point, I spoke about identification. Second point, implementation. Third point is evaluation. Please regularly assess the impact of your ritual. What is the impact of your ritual? What is the impact of your ritual? This ritual that you have been doing in the last 3 months, in the last 6 months, what is the impact? Is the ritual helping you to grow? Remember, a good ritual is a catalyst for your development. So if you have implemented a ritual every day for 3 months, for 2 months, you should be able to look at your life and see a difference. The difference is important for the next step I will talk about. So you need to evaluate your ritual. Assess the impact of that ritual. Is it helping you to grow? Is your ritual really acting as the catalyst for development? Is your ritual getting you closer to your career goals, to your business goals, to your financial goals, to your relationship goals? Is this practice really taking you somewhere? And when you begin to do this assessment, you will start doing some adjustment. You will notice that, for example, every time I carry out a set of actions and I see a positive result, I like to expand. And that's the last step in this framework. When a ritual is working, expand that ritual. Yes. When you see a ritual that is working, expand the ritual. If you have implemented a set of actions and you have seen that these set of actions have actually catalyzed your development in the last couple of weeks or months, the best thing you can do is expand it. Expand that ritual. Add new elements. Add more time to it. Find more ways to do it. Because the more you expand a ritual that is already working, that is already catalyzing your development, the more results you're going to have. I bet you, if you practice this consistently, I have a couple of clients in coaching that they have come for coaching, and the only concept that I taught them after listening to their challenges and problems, I will sit with them down and teach them on the concept of this ritual stuff, and I'll work with them to identify, create a strategy and all of that. That's the thing I teach them. 3 months later, 6 months later, mind-blowing testimonies in careers and in business. Go try this out and you will see incredible results in your life, in your career, in your business, even in your spiritual life, right? Number 2, remember I am teaching on 3 key elements you need to practice to scale your result. If you're joining in late, we're talking about scaling your results. And I was emphasizing that if you're serious as a professional, you're serious as an entrepreneur, one of your critical intentions should be to scale your life, scale your money, scale your career, scale your business, scale yourself. Don't be in the same spot every single day. This second element, I have seen it a lot in the lives of people, even my friends, even family members, even some of you. I think some of you, sometimes when I'm talking to some of you, I'm like, I think this is one of the challenges you're facing. The second element, be careful of the habit of having the reluctance to make a decision. Many people are not able to scale their lives because they have this habit of always being reluctant to make decisions. Show me somebody who is not always making decisions on time. I will show you somebody who will hardly scale their life forward. If you check your life and you see that you easily get into that place where you are reluctant to make a decision, you need to spend some time in that area of your life. Because, as I always fondly say, decisions make men. Decisions make professionals and entrepreneurs. Decision making will always remain one of those critical skills in business and career development. One of the things that you need to overcome is the habit of being reluctant to make a decision. Either you're reluctant because you don't have the right amount of information, don't look for it. Either you're reluctant because of fear, you need to find a way and conquer that particular fear. There are different things that come into play and position somebody in that place of being reluctant to make a decision. Right? So many people over time have fallen into this trap of reluctance and delaying to make decisions due to fear, due to uncertainty, due to inadequate information, due to what people will say or whatever. But let me tell you something. Coming to the place where you overcome this hesitation of making decisions will lead you to your progress and to your success. If you are the kind of professional, you're the kind of business person that you quickly feel reluctant to make a decision, it's another way of turning your back on progress and success. You want progress and success? You need to overcome the habit of being reluctant to make a decision. Maybe you're listening to me right now. You have been in the same spot for the last 1 year, for the last 2 years, for the last couple of months. And there is no progress. And there is a decision that you have been thinking, should I not? Should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? And your life is in the same spot over these 2 years, over these 12 months, over these 3 months. But you have not moved. Maybe it's time for you to make that decision. Because hesitating over and over and not making that decision is only costing you your success and stopping you from experiencing progress. So what is the framework? What can you what do I recommend as the framework for you to put into place to overcome this habit of being reluctant to make decisions? Number one, awareness. Awareness. You need to become aware of the things in your life that normally stop you from making decisions. You need to spend time and recognize instances when you were hesitant to make decisions. Awareness. Take time. Look at the last couple of months, last couple of years, 5 years back, 10 years back. Look at those moments when you were reluctant to make a decision. Think deeply about those instances. And ask yourself a very important question. In all of those instances, is there a particular pattern? Is there a particular thing that has sponsored your inability to make decisions on time? Because you need to sort out that pattern. You need to understand the root cause of your reluctance in making decisions. For some people, they will see fear out of nowhere. For some people, it is the habit of, what will people say if I get it wrong? For some people, it could be due to inadequate resources. That's a valid reason, right? For some people, it could be due to lack of quality information or data to depend upon to make a decision. For some people, it could be due to the lack of faith. On the other side of that decision, their life is going to change. But you need to do some digging and develop this awareness. Personally, for me, the first time I developed this framework, I discovered the things that normally make me to feel reluctant to make a precise, quick, informed, important decision that if I make it, it's going to change my life. And we all have different reasons. So you need to spend some time and become aware of this so that the next time, why is it important for you to become aware? So that the next time that this is happening again, you already know your weakness. You already know, hey, in this kind of situations, this is how I behave. So when you know it, you always have a plan in place to overcome that habit of being reluctant in making decisions. Number two, information gathering. Decision making and information gathering are like twins. Learn how to equip yourself with relevant information and perspective to make informed decisions. You can do research, you can seek advice, you can pay for an expert, you can pay for a coach, you can pay for a consultant, you can talk to an elderly person, whatever. Make sure that you have the habit of gathering relevant information around that particular decision you want to make. Don't just stay away from a decision or become reluctant about making a particular decision without really having the valid, clear reasons why you are not making that decision. The third thing that you can do under this point too is if you have if you notice that you have this chronic habit, I'm saying chronic, this consistent chronic habit of decision hesitation or being reluctant to make decisions, you need to start practicing with small decisions. Start by making small decisions quickly. Train yourself, train your brain, train your personality, train your attitude to be the person that quickly make decisions. Start with small things that don't need a lot of calculation, things that don't need a lot of data. But let's say, for example, after this a morning coaching session, after this, you guys are going to work, some are going to your businesses. You will start thinking of what to wear. Avoid being in a place where you want to over-calculate. Just make that decision, okay, I'm going to wear this. Sometimes you can time yourself, train yourself. The purpose is come into that place, into that realm where you can quickly make decisions, because you need this to build your confidence and decision-making skills. So avoid procrastinating small decisions. If you said that you'll call somebody, pick up your phone and call the person immediately. Start making smaller decisions quickly. When you do this, it becomes easy for you to now transfer that habit and that attitude into bigger decisions, right? When the fourth key step under this framework is do not fear consequences of decisions if you get it wrong. Many people go through decision hesitation or reluctance in making decisions because they fear the consequences if they make the wrong decisions. Let me tell you a factor. Wrong decisions are part of life. There are some decisions that you will have all the data, you seek advice, you seek counsel, you even pay for an expert, you even pray about it, and you will not hear God, right? And you will still go and make the wrong decision. The day you overcome, the day people overcome the habit of being afraid of the consequences of their decisions, that is the day that many people will be liberated from prison into dominance. Where you've come to a place where you operate with the concept and with the principle that if I make a decision, either it moves me forward or I fail and I learn something new, I stretch myself, I become different, I see the other side of failure, I see new possibilities on the other side of failing, and I use whatever I discover from there and I move forward. The day many people start operating from this dimension, the day many people start operating with this perspective, it will be the day that many people will enter their place of dominion. The fear of consequences is keeping a lot of people in prison. A lot of people in prison. Oh, what if I fail? What if I get this wrong? What if this? What if that? And then they do all the what ifs and the what that and the all of that, and they end up doing nothing, and they remain in the same spot. The fifth element under this point too is reflection. Learn to reflect after every decision. after you make a decision, reflect on the outcome, the good and the bad outcomes. This is one thing that has really helped me over time. When I make a decision, I always like to evaluate the outcome of that decision. And like almost everything, let me share with you guys something funny. I think it's not been long. I was just writing, well, I was just talking to my wife, I don't know whatever we're talking about. And then the point on the, how lucky we are to have each other, all of that. And I started writing the reasons why I made the best decision to get married to her, right? And that's something that I sat over time after we've been together. I started looking. So, what is the best outcome of this decision? Right? It helps. Even when I buy something, when I create a concept, when I do something, whether it's the best outcome or the worst outcome, I like to do reflections. Do you know why? The reflections is whatever I got right, how can I expand and do the same thing so I can get more better results? And whatever I got wrong, how can I use my growth mindset and my learning mindset and learn from the gaps, learn from what is on the other side of failing, and use it and build a better life, and build a better career, and build a better business? So when you operate this way, there are no longer things that can really break your heart, because you are operating from that place of growth and advancement. You use the good things, you advance. You use the consequences or the bad consequences, you advance. When you operate like that, there are few circumstances in life that will really beat you, that will really make you feel so bad and feel so broken, because you are operating from a totally different realm and perspective of living. The last point, remember we're talking on the 3 key elements or 3 key concepts that you need to scale results in your life, right? Good. So the third thing that, talking about my wife, she's calling. The third thing that I want to talk about is, this is one of my favorite concepts. This third element, this is one of my favorite concepts that I develop when it comes to scaling results, scaling life, scaling career, scaling money, scaling business, whatever. The third concept to scale result is enter the all or nothing mindset. Enter the all or nothing mindset. Now, this sounds kind of extreme, right? But there is a dimension of results that you would never get until you have the all or nothing mindset. No, let me not say so. Until you enter a dimension of your life where you have all or nothing mindset. This is a very powerful tool in achieving exceptional results in career and in business. So the one thing that this mindset will give you or will challenge you to do is to involve yourself in whatever you're doing with full commitment, 1000% commitment to a goal, to a task, to a career, and to a business, and you leave no room for half measures. You leave no room for laziness. You leave no room for lack of commitment. And I always like to say that the best way to enter the all or nothing mindset is from the place of you recognizing that based on your age, based on how far you've come, based on your maturity and information, there is a place where you reach in your journey in this life. You enter all or nothing mindset. You cannot be in a certain age and you're still doubting. Should I start a business or career? Business or work? Business or work? You have not yet reached a certain level where success can happen in a certain dimension. You see that? So there are many of us that for us to scale our lives now, for us to scale our careers now, for you to scale that business right now, you need to enter the all or nothing mindset as far as that business is concerned. You make up your mind. From today, it's either this business makes me a millionaire or not. I am no longer applying for jobs. I'm not writing CV. I'm not doing anything. It is me and this business till Jesus comes. This simple decision can orchestrate every single thing in your life to make that business to work. The day I made up my mind that it is this talkie-talkie that I will do, this was 2013. Because I started doing speaking, I started doing a lot of these things while still working, right? It was part-time. But January 2013, because with January, then on the 2nd of January, I went and I resigned from my job. Something I did not, I just made up my mind that new year that I know what, this is it. This is it. At that time, I did not call it all or nothing mindset. It's just a concept I started writing about. But however, the beauty of having this consciousness and this mindset is you operate from a realm where every single thing about you is focusing on making that dream come to pass. And that is one of the fastest ways to live your dream life. It is one of the fastest ways to become the person of impact and the person of value and produce some significant results in your life. All or nothing mindset. How can you develop this mindset? Quickly, number one, goal setting. I have bypassed talking about purpose and all of that. This is a matured community, so I'm not talking about purpose again. I'm assuming all of you have discovered their purpose, right? You have been in the community for years and months, so you should know about purpose. Now, goal setting. This is where you need to define clearly your ambitious career goals, business goals, finance goals, or whatever. You cannot have the all or nothing mindset without clear goals that you're pursuing. You cannot, right? So you need to define clearly your ambitious career, business, finance, relationships, marriage, whatever goals. These should be also challenging yet achievable goals, where you provide a clear target for your all or nothing efforts. Hear me very well. When you enter the all or nothing mindset, the next thing that should follow is the all or nothing effort. All or nothing mindset is useless without all or nothing efforts. Clearly set your ambitious, achievable, realistic, time-bound goals. Number 2, resource allocation. When you have your all or nothing mindset in a particular path, in a particular career, in a particular business, the second thing is you making up your mind that you will not withhold any resources that can help you achieve that path that you have chosen. So dedicate your resources, talking about your time, your energy, your mindset, your finances, your equipment, whatever that you have that is a resource that can help you achieve that particular path that you have made up your mind that, hey, as far as I'm concerned, all or nothing is in this part, in this particular business. So you come to a place where all of your resources, energy, money, time, even your friends, those are human resources, all of your resources are entirely directed towards that path where you are putting your all or nothing efforts. And resource allocation also means resource mobilization. You can mobilize resources from other areas and pump into that path where you have made up your mind. It is either you walk or you walk. After you do that, the third thing to do under all or nothing mindset is eliminate distractions. Identify and remove distractions from your life. Identify and remove distractions from your life. If you have made up your mind that you have chosen this path, and in this path is either you succeed or you succeed, it's a do or die. There is no plan B. You have only plan A, and your plan A is this particular path. One of the first things you need to do is eliminate distractions. Remove non-essential activities. You cannot have your all or nothing mindset and you comfortably sit and watch a movie for 5 hours every day. You comfortably sit and watch funny, non-educative videos on Instagram and TikTok for hours. It doesn't make sense. That is not a good example of somebody who practices all or nothing mindset. Eliminate distractions, identify them, eliminate them. I always share my story. I used to be a movie addict. I loved movies, especially intelligent movies. Movies that talk about CIA, FBI, all these kind of movies. That's why I used to love 24 Hours, Jack Bauer, and all of these movies. I could sit and I watch Jack Bauer for 12 hours and I forget to eat. Prison Break, the same thing. I'll watch for hours and hours and I will not eat. But the day I started putting my life together, I deleted those movies on my laptop and I told my friends, we used to always exchange movies. When you download a movie first from the internet, you go to all your friends' house and you share with them. When they do the same thing, they also move and come and share with us. So we had like a movie circle, a community of movie sharers. Instead of sharing books, we're sharing movies. So I did that and I told them, please, when you have a movie, make sure I don't hear about it and I don't know about it. I am not interested again in movies. Because that was one of my biggest distractions. And lastly, under this point on all or nothing mindset is resilience. resilience. Because you believe in a path doesn't mean that you start seeing success immediately. No. Because you have chosen a path doesn't mean that everything will favor you and you start seeing results immediately. No, you are going to face challenges. And because you are facing challenges, it doesn't mean that you should give up. Go and read the stories of people who have made it. Go and check the greatest setbacks that they were able to go through to achieve. At the back of all or nothing mindset is the spirit of resilience. The spirit of resilience, the ability to persevere in the face of setbacks. The all or nothing mindset requires that you should sustain the ability to push through every challenge. You should sustain the mentality to overlook setbacks and believe in the future possibilities waiting for you after the setback. Sometimes when I sit, I wonder, what if I gave up years ago? What if I gave up years ago? Where would I have been? Would I have traveled all these countries? Would I have this kind of life I have right now? No way. But if I share with you the stories and the challenges, you feel that this guy had all the reasons to give up. And same as many people have their stories. Same as you may be listening to me right now, and you are going through your own story. It's critically difficult. It's hard. Challenges left and right. I am still facing challenges right now. There's no human being on earth without challenges, none. The difference is the challenges are in levels. There are some people that their challenges include basic needs. How will I pay house rent? How will I eat? What will I dress? They don't have the money to take care of their basic needs before money to do the things that can help them succeed. For other people, house is not the issue. Basic needs is not the issue. They even have cars, or even many cars, and even private jets. But they also have challenges at their level. Never look at somebody and think that that person's life is perfect and they should give you their life. No. If they give you their life and show you the challenge they are battling with at the moment, you will take, no, please, I beg, take your life and give me my life. I am okay with my own challenges. The difference is some people have what I call the spirit of resilience. They have cultivated this attitude, this mentality in the way that they face challenges, and you will feel as if these people have a perfect life. There is nobody with a perfect life. There are only people who have mastered the art of facing setbacks and overcoming them. So as we conclude, think critically. Out of these 3 core principles of scaling results in your life, career, and business, where are you falling short? What do you need to start doing? Which one are you already doing that you need to maintain or you need to expand? But by all means, you need to step up and, of course, do something. Questions, and then we'll round up.